Hello everyone, a little channel update for you. We're gonna talk about Roblox, chess, and other stuff. But first, the mandatory, if you're new here, smash that subscribe button. Don't hit the like button yet, because you don't even know what I'm gonna say, Like, watch the video first, okay? And then think about if you want to hit like or not. Alright, let's get into it. I'm gonna mess around with this silly game I'm working on while I talk. But let's get the chess out of the way, then I'll talk about... Oh, there's a bunch of people. Okay. And this bug happens sometimes. I don't know. It has to do with the camera with the weapon system. I'll have to fix that. Let's get the chess out of the way. I'm gonna actually rejoin. This is a bad, nasty bug. So, I love chess, but I do... Oh, yeah. Still got this problem. Camera's messed up. I gotta try to fix that. But now it's a little better. I think if you... Yeah, why does that happen? Sometimes it happens on games and sometimes it doesn't. See, now it's okay. If anybody knows why that bug happens, this is the normal weapon system for R15 and all that jazz. Okay, chess. I have to take breaks with chess sometimes. Like, sometimes I overdo it. And I was doing all these openings, tournaments, right? And I went through almost all the openings. And I was actually preparing, I started preparing several hours before each stream. Really, I wanted to go through all these openings. And I just kind of overdosed a bit. You know, if you listen to Magnus Carlsen, like, people ask him how much he loves chess. And I've never heard him say, like, oh, I love it, but, sometimes I need a break. Even Magnus Carlsen probably sometimes needs a break. And I don't just mean, like, yeah, the mandatory, 5, 10, 15 minutes break. Or, like, okay, you did 8 hours of chess today, so do something else for the rest of the day or something. But I mean, like, taking 2 weeks of a break or 2 months, or for some people it's they need a few years after they're really sick of something. Like Gotham Chess, he took a few years off. But Gotham Chess is not a grandmaster. Can I shoot this guy? He looks jumping around like crazy. Some of these guys are jumping around like crazy. Is the sniper on one-shot kill? I forget. They're hard to hit. Whoa! Alright. And, but yeah, if you're the best chess player in the world, I would expect that you'd love chess so much that maybe you don't... You certainly never need to take like a 2-year break probably, but even like a 2-month break. I don't think he was taking 2 months. 2 months breaks? 2-month breaks? But I ain't Magnus Carlsen, and let's be honest about that. And after doing way too much chess, well, I gotta take a break for a while. But I love chess, and I will be back at it. But I don't want to stream something where I'm not enjoying it. I've tried that years ago on Twitch or something. Like, oh, this game is popular. Or sometimes I'll try a game for the first time and live stream it. I really never do that now because I might really not like the game. So at least, like, make sure that I'm gonna like it. Because streaming something when you don't enjoy that thing is actually really painful. Because your negativity, you can't really help, but some kind of boredom or negativity is going to filter through. And that just makes my mood even worse. And, like, it's not going to be a happy time, It's not going to be fun. So, I really avoid streaming things where I'm not enjoying it. Oh, did this person just fall off the map? This is a kind of an old game that I made, but I want to make some changes. And one of the things, actually, it's really easy to save terrain and then load it into a new experience in Roblox Studio. But I didn't really know too much about that. And so for one thing, like, and that was a problem before, because I would never do that. So, like, once I got stuck on certain terrain, I would feel like I can't just... Well, I could just, save a new version of the experience and start playing around. But, like, you don't. Well, I would never like mix and match terrain. Like, let's say there's 3 different experiences that I've made where I like the terrain from all of them, and I want to combine them. And you can't. It's not easy to move terrain around, but I figured out how I could pretty easily make some scripts that do that. You know, copy pasting terrain. It's in the documentation, and it's somewhat straightforward. There are plugins that help with it, but I'd like to just do it myself. Can we get them? They're typing, aren't they? Got him. Yeah, it's 1-shot kill on the sniper. I'm not gonna shoot a guy who just spawned. People are leaving. No. Oh yeah, it has a kill count. Nice. Oh, and it's stored. It's persisted. That's why I have 700 kills. We're gonna turn off the chat in case somebody drops some N bombs or something. You know. Actually, I mean, isn't the censorship on like the built-in censor is crazy, isn't it? So, oh, I fell down. Anyway, something big happened with my Robloxing, which is, in a nutshell, you know, I spent like, I'm a little embarrassed to say this, but I spent like $1,000 on advertising on this experience over the course of about a month, or maybe a couple weeks, I forget. And I wanted to see specifically, do users keep coming back? Like if I do that and then months later, do people come back? Or because there are once or twice on other experiences, I've spent $200 or $300 on advertising. And after I'm done advertising, like a month later, just flatline, completely flat, zero people coming in. Now, of course, one solution is make your games better. Yes. We all know that. Easier said than done, okay? It's a lot of work. But I'll work on it, okay? But, yeah, just kind of flatlines. And I was interested in if you spent more money, would it be different? And this game has, like, around 50% like ratio, so it's not even... Actually, I think, though, some people quite enjoy it, but I think it got a lot of dislikes. One, because there's too many premium weapons. Like those blue ones are premium, and this one is not. That, and also for a while you could destroy the terrain. And when you could destroy the terrain with like a railgun, basically my Robux revenue like tripled or quadrupled, which is still not profitable doing the ads and everything. It's not even near profitable, but it did like triple because people were getting frustrated and most of the terrain was getting blown away. And so they would go and like, they were desperate for weapons. So they started spending a lot more. However, a lot of people started disliking the game. Even though for someone like me, it was pretty fun with being able to blow up the terrain. But honestly, in the beginning, before having a successful game, don't monetize, I would say. I mean, it's probably worth thinking about monetization and maybe experimenting, but now that I have some experience, I'm not gonna... By monetization, of course, I mean just getting Robux, right? One of the changes I'm probably gonna make is make it where you don't have to pay for anything. Unless, sometimes I think it's nice that there's something in the game that not many people are gonna get. So, you know, making it 50 or 100 Robux or something to unlock something. I might do, but basically I'm gonna probably make almost everything, if not everything, free. Not where you have to pay for it. There'll probably be, you don't need this many weapons everywhere. There's all kinds of changes. Messing around with terrain, and I did this game like maybe 6 months ago or more, actually maybe 9 months ago, and I've learned so many things and learned how to build new things. So there's all kinds of things that I'm going to change up. But anyway, that experiment where I spent all that money on advertising, well, it turns out that even after not touching the game for probably 6 months or so, there were still, it was not a lot of users, but maybe between 3 to 6 daily users. Not a lot. However, the point is that means that spending advertising has a long-term effect. And I don't want to spend advertising if, you know, it's going to be, well, for a couple weeks, people will be coming in and then just deadlines and I get 0 after that, right? Like, I want the advertising to, in some way, shape, or form, improve the discoverability of the game. So if it's an algorithm that works, like, say, similar to the YouTube algorithm, for example, then the fact that people are liking it, the fact that some people do spend some time in it, those things, and some people do come back to it, those things would tell the algorithm, okay, you can, you know, put this game out there for some people. And those daily active users that I mentioned, like maybe 3 to 6 or so, those were basically all new users. They weren't people coming back. So that told me that after spending $1,000 on advertising, well, the platform, Roblox, was giving me some discoverability, basically. You know, it's putting my game out there. And I'm pretty sure that's not just because of the name and the description of the game. It's sort of more this algorithm kind of stuff, you know? Or it could even be, which would be sad, it could just be that because I spent more than $1,000, I hit some threshold where they're like, okay, we've got to give some minimum amount of discoverability on this game. I'm not sure, you know? I would lean towards thinking it's a algorithm kind of thing. Oh, they got up there. Okay. Can we do it? Oh. This acts a little weird sometimes. Oh, because it increases, like, your walk speed as well? I don't know. Maybe I should fix that. What else? So, anyway, so that's a big deal because... there's another thing I wanted to mention, which is... well, I have this question of... should I make a lot of small games? Or should I focus on one experience? And the thing is, like, you can... pretty much... Okay, so I changed the name. I changed the name from Rocket Fight to Shenanigans Combat, just because some of the places that I switched it to basically didn't always have a rocket launcher, so the name Rocket Fight wouldn't be appropriate anymore. Accept that. Friend requests. Remember Oggs. Hello. Anyway, so I changed the name. That didn't really have any obvious effect on the Lucky Charm. Konnichiwa, Lucky Charm. Okay, that's Japanese katakana there. So, where was I? Yeah, so, I forgot. Right. I think it's better to focus on an experience. And even if you change it out, like, in my Roblox studio, I definitely have, like, more than 100 places that I've worked on. Experiences, places, whatever. Games, okay? And so if all of those were separate experiences, okay, there's a potential benefit. Maybe I'll get lucky and find something that is searchable, that has good discoverability, like organic discoverability. And so I think that's worth doing. It is worth making numerous experiences, and you learn a lot from doing that. So that does have value, but there's also value in just focusing on one experience. And so as I make different games, I can sort of swap them in here. As long as they're combat related, I'm not going to put like a completely different play, like put in an obby or something, I don't think. I don't know, I mean, probably anything is okay, to be honest, but the plan is, okay, I will... whatever combat games I make, I set them, I publish them to this experience, and I experiment, okay? Now, I put an ad on here, that's why there are people here. And, yeah, so there's value in focusing, and, like, this experience, like I said, I think the like ratio is at 43%, which is pretty bad. However, and so I thought, well, should I start new games and go for higher like ratio? And that's worth doing too. But if I'm going to spend money on ads, I think it's better to just go all in, focusing just on one experience. Well, like I keep contradicting myself because it's good to do both. It's good to experiment with a lot of little things and also simultaneously, sort of separately, focus on one thing, if that makes sense. I don't know, maybe that doesn't make sense. You're just employing both strategies and seeing what gives you dividends. There's value in experimenting with a lot of different things, and you will learn from that. And there's also value in focusing on one thing. So I think one should do both. So probably most of the advertising I'm going to do will be on here and put more work into here and try to focus on it. Even though the like ratio is bad, given time, it can go up. And, you know, okay, I have a goal to improve the like ratio. One thing is just getting rid of these pay to use guns, make everything free, make some random improvements. Probably just that alone will make the like ratio hopefully start sort of floating upwards. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So that, honestly, if I for the last few months I haven't done much Roblox, just a bit, and if not for the fact that this experience still had daily active users, even probably 6 months after advertising, if not for that fact, I would still just be doing something else. I wouldn't be spending much time on Roblox. But since I noticed that, this new information, okay, there's a long-term benefit from advertising, potentially. I mean, I've spent a few $100s here and there on other experiences, and they just flatlined. But this one, okay, $1,000 and some daily active users. So that's the thing. So the fact that there's a potential long-term benefit makes me interested. Whereas without that, it's tough. I would maybe, without that, I would be not focusing on one game, and I would be making a lot of small games and try to get organic discoverability through search and stuff like that. Make like games about trending topics. I mean, there's lots of videos on there on YouTube about how to get players in your game, and pretty much they always mention, make your game about something that people are searching for, obviously. So somebody said, like, just look at whatever the last Mr. Beast video was about and make a game about that, or a trending, like a popular TV show or something like that. Anything like that that's sort of trending, you could do that. And that's not my favorite style to, I don't really like the idea of like, oh, this is trending, so I'm going to make that. That sounds a little boring to me and artificial. However, if that's the only way I could think of potentially thriving, potentially on the platform, potentially, getting more traction, if that's the only thing I could think of, then, and everything else were frustrated, like, that is a sort of a last possibility that I could try to do that. But yeah, for me, it's sort of a last resort. Well, I'll experiment with it, but I gotta be interested in the thing. I would have trouble making something if I'm not interested in, if I don't find it fun. I don't know, I find this map kind of fun, the combat and all that. But yeah, so that's Roblox. There was other stuff. Yeah, on YouTube, I'll be experimenting with other stuff. That's it. That's all I had to say about that. And let me know what you think in the comments. Was there something else I was gonna... Oh, yeah. So there might be more Roblox videos coming. I do want to focus more on actually building stuff, actually making stuff, and looking at the analytics and how are people responding. Like, there's like the top 3 things with the analytics. I think there's like probably there's all this stuff of like people getting into the game. So you generally assume that an ad was put up on it, and then how much are people actually clicking on the icon and then clicking play. That's one thing. And then how many minutes is the average player playing for? That's super important. And then 1 day retention and 7 day retention and the retention. Those are like the 3 main things. And so looking at that is important. And I want to focus on those things, and making videos will be secondary, because there's not going to be any videos unless I have something to talk about, you know? Like, yeah, I'm not really into like starting the day thinking, gosh, what's my video idea for today? I'd rather do stuff, and then I realize at some point, oh, I have something to say about something. And then I make a video. I prefer that. So that's just where I'm at with it. And so I probably need to focus on actually doing things as a first priority, rather than thinking like videos are the first priority. And yeah, that said, there'll probably be more videos in the future, possibly some live streams of stuff. I haven't even shown like any of the new stuff that I've been working on, which there's a handful of things, new things that I've been working on, but it's not that interesting yet as far as a video is concerned, you know, like get a bunch of code, blah blah blah. That's it. Thanks. Leave a comment and smash the like button at the end of the video if you enjoyed it. Hope you have an amazing rest of the day.